I'm Jana, and this is Kyle, and this is our little guy, Ellis. Ellis is 2.5. Aren't you? You a big kid? Yeah. And so our story to get to Ellis, things were all going really smoothly along the pregnancy until my 28-week appointment. And I went in for the appointment and immediately got admitted to the hospital. And in that time and being in the hospital, day 7 of that time, we got the news that Ellis would have Down syndrome. And it was something we weren't expecting.
No.
When that news first came, and we had about 16 hours to process that information before we found out that I would have an emergency C-section and Ellis would be born at 29 weeks. And so Ellis was 2 pounds, 2 ounces when he was born, yes. And immediately rushed off to the NICU, and we spent 86 days in the hospital with Ellis. It's been a journey, and it's been really cool to see how the superpower of Down syndrome has impacted our lives, but so many other people's lives. So we came to an open house that was happening here. Immediately we were like, wow, this is the most amazing place we've ever experienced. We walked in and saw the people and were able to start making some connections. The thing that was so impactful about walking into GiGi's and being able to connect with people is that it was just a place where we felt like we could just be ourselves.
Yeah. And
Ellis could just be who God created Ellis to be. And we didn't have to worry about all of the social norms and all of the, pressures of, the world and what expectations other people put on Ellis. And Ellis could just be Ellis. But my favorite thing about the first time we were at Elemental P is in that season of life, we were working really hard with Ellis just sitting up, right?
Yeah.
That was like our big goal. We were working at PT and all the things. It was just for Ellis to be able to sit up. And we came to Elemental P, and it makes me cry because it was such an impactful moment, but had a little beanbag chair out, and it was the first time that Ellis sat in that beanbag chair all by himself, and I have a picture of it because it was just such a big deal after something that we were working so hard for so long on, and to just see him sitting there independently, we knew that this was going to be a place that we were going to spend a lot of time.
I think the thing that we enjoy about GiGi's is that we believe, and at least in our household, that words have power, and that Ellis and our friends don't have the disability of Down syndrome, but the superpower of Down syndrome. And so we just are grateful for GiGi's because it creates a safe place for our friends with the superpower of Down syndrome to just grow into their best versions of themselves and have the safe place to do that.
Ellis, what are some of your favorite things to come to at GiGi's? We love coming to Elemental P class. We learn sign language, and we get to do songs. We get to see bubbles, right? At Elemental P with Miss Ray.
Ooh,
that's
fun.
So fun. And then we also have come to the music classes, right? Do you like the music classes? Yes, and we also have come to the social skills for early learners, and you get to see your friends and say hello and greet them. So we've really been grateful for all the special classes and friends that we've met along the way. And honestly, Ellis is meeting some of his best friends, friends that he's gonna have his whole life here at GiGi's. Our friend Baker, that is a bestie of Ellis's, and we met here at GiGi's, and we've connected with his parents, and it was just so fun to see what's possible for Ellis, and it's given us hope. It's given us an opportunity to dream and to not just get stuck in what the world maybe says about Down syndrome, but to see all the possibilities, all the achievements that Ellis has in front of him.
And did you guys say that you knew the sign language? I had to say that GiGi's is the best?
Oh, yes. Okay,
Whoa.
Should we say it? GiGi's is the best. And Ellis is the best. Yes, the best. Thank you so much for being here tonight. What an honor it is to share with you about Ellis's miracle story and the impact GiGi's Playhouse has made on our life. After an almost 10-year infertility journey, we were filled with so many conflicting emotions when we learned that our little boy would be making his grand appearance much, much earlier than we ever thought. So to then receive the news of Ellis's diagnosis of trisomy 21 felt like a lot to process. We are very grateful for those 16 hours we had to begin that processing, to talk with our immediate family and pray together. God gently reminded me that he doesn't make mistakes. And this brought me a lot of peace then, and it still does today. For much of Ellis's NICU stay, the fact that he had Down syndrome became secondary to just his daily survival and growth. It was an overwhelming season of life, to say the least. Once we brought him home from the hospital is when we truly began to process his superpower and what life would look like moving forward. The doctor appointments, specialists, therapists, goals, milestone conversations, and unknowns were oftentimes crippling. Most days we were just trying to keep our head above water. During this time is when we were introduced to GiGi's by our friend Oliver and his sweet mom, Mickey, who was a co-worker of ours. Oliver told us about the cooking classes and tutoring he enjoyed at GiGi's, and we thought it sounded like a pretty cool place. Right before Ellis's first birthday, we came to the spring open house that GiGi's was hosting at the Playhouse. I remember being a little nervous in preparation of going, but was excited to connect with some other families. And Ellis, well, he's a party kid, so I knew he'd have fun. Walking into GiGi's for the first time was like a breath of fresh air that I didn't know that I needed. We immediately were welcomed with smiles and hugs by some familiar faces we didn't know would be there. It felt like we were truly home. Stepping foot in a place where Ellis could be himself and was celebrated for his superpower was simply the best. Seeing kiddos running around, adults dancing and talking with their friends, just filled me with so much hope for the future. It was one of the first times that I actually was able to dream and think about all the beautiful opportunities ahead of Ellis and our family. Each of you being here and generously giving of your time and resources allows GiGi's Playhouse to offer more programs, resources, and opportunities for connection to families like ours. I don't want to think about where we'd be today if it wasn't for GiGi's. Ellis's growth and development can easily be linked to the time we have spent at the Playhouse over the past year and a half. Attending LMNOP class and social skills for early learners with Miss Ray has taught us new sign language, given opportunities to learn how to interact with friends in appropriate ways, and it's filled us with joy. We even learned the elbow greeting, which is one of our new favorites. Going to open play and music class brought connection with other families and helped Ellis in his fine motor and gross motor skills. Aside from all the amazing programming and resources, for me, GiGi's has been a refuge, a place to sit alongside other parents, talk about the joys, the challenges, and upcoming adventures in this beautiful life as a parent of a kiddo with the superpower of Down syndrome. I may have benefited more than Ellis has from our time at GiGi's so far. To think about all the exciting things Ellis will be able to be a part of at GiGi's as he gets older brings a smile to my face. Ellis is meeting friends he will have for the rest of his life. Friends he will learn and grow with, play basketball with, eat dinner with, and sing karaoke with, and make an impact with. I can easily say GiGi's has changed our lives forever. GiGi's is so much more than an incredible building in the Twin Cities. It is a place of hope. So this evening, as it comes to an end and we get ready for an epic after party, would you help us in spreading the word about GiGi's? I am astonished as I talk to other families who we meet at the park or the grocery store who have a child with Down syndrome of how many have never heard of GiGi's. So you being here tonight and giving generously allows for every family in the Twin Cities who is a part of this amazing community to have the opportunity to experience GiGi's for themselves, to feel at home and full of hope. I want to invite my husband Kyle and my little guy Ellis to join me on the stage. Do you want to say hi to everybody? We want to just take a moment to say thank you so much to all the staff and the volunteers at GiGi's. We really appreciate that. Appreciate all of you. Can you say thank you? Thank you. Do you want to show them your elbow greeting? Can you give Dada? Oh, thank you. Ooh, thank you. Can you give Dada an elbow greeting? Smoochies. We're a little star-stunned, I think. Yay! And we'll leave you with this, toodaloo, as Miss Ray would say.
Okay. Thank you, guys.